Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from Bhagavad-Gita as it is, chapter 16, the divine and the demoniac natures, text number 20. Asurim yonim apanna mudha janmani janmani mama preva kaunteya tato yanti yadamam gatim. Asurim yonim apanna mudha janmani janmani mama preva kaunteya tato yanti yadamam gatim. Asurim yonim apanna mudha janmani janmani mama prapyeva kaunteya tato yanti yadamam gatim. Word by word meaning. Asurim, demoniac. Yonim, species. Apanna, gaining. Mudha, the foolish. Janmani, janmani, in birth after birth. Mam, me. Prapya, without achieving. Eva, certainly. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti. Tataha, thereafter. Yanti, go. Adhamam, condemned. Gatim, destination. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Attaining repeated birth among the species of demoniac life, O son of Kunti, such persons can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. Please repeat. Attaining repeated birth among the species of demoniac life, O son of Kunti, such persons can never approach me. Gradually, they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. It is known that God is all merciful, but here we find that God is never merciful to the demoniac. It is clearly stated that the demoniac people, life after life, are put into the wombs of similar demons and not achieving the mercy of Supreme Lord. They go down and down so that at last they achieve bodies like those of cats, dogs, and hogs. It is clearly stated that such demons have practically no chance of receiving the mercy of God at any stage of later life. In the Vedas also it is stated that such persons gradually sink to become dogs and hogs. It may be then argued in this connection that God should not be advertised as all merciful if He is not merciful to such demons. In answer to this question, in the Vedanta Sutra, we find that the Supreme Lord has no hatred for anyone. The placing of the asuras, the demons, in the lowest status of life is simply another feature of His mercy. Sometimes the asuras are killed by the Supreme Lord, but this killing is also good for them. For in Vedic literature, we find that anyone who is killed by the Supreme Lord becomes liberated. There are instances in history of many asuras, Ravana, Kamsa, Hiranyakashipu, to whom the Lord appeared in various incarnations just to kill them. Therefore, God's mercy is shown to the asuras if they are fortunate enough to be killed by Him. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So in this chapter, Krishna talks about the divine and demoniac nature. So very few verses are, maybe 3 or 4 speaks about the divine nature, and the rest is all speaking about demoniac nature. So in general, the purport Prabhupada has given in this chapter is very much applicable and contemporary to the current scenario, and we can relate well how the influence of the demoniac civilization or demoniac actions or demoniac behavior or demoniac thoughts is increasing in us and around us. And it is getting difficult to get out of this conditioning of demoniac lifestyles. So, by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, as we were hearing in the Hindi class, we are now in Vrindavan, chanting the holy name in association of devotees. All good facilities are available. But this does not mean that the demonic propensities have left us. Like, where the demons were when Krishna appeared, they were all in Vrindavan, right? So, it's not that we here in Vrindavan are away from the demons anymore. So, and in Kali Yuga, like we hear about the demons, in the previous ages were on different planet, and then same family, and then same country, something is there, and now in Kali Yuga it's in the same body. This is how it has. So now it's not possible to kill somebody. In the previous ages the demons were killed, but now it's mostly demoniac consciousness, demoniac mentality, or demoniac lifestyle. So if we cut somebody off, the chance to progress is finished already. So here it says that, so birth after birth, after attaining repeated birth among the species of demoniac life, O son of Kunti, such persons can never approach me, gradually sink down to the most abominable type of existences. So all the demonic things we see around today, that just shows that how people are sinking further down and down and down. So that's very much understandable, because we have been hearing Srila Prabhupada classes, we are discussing Bhagavatam, Bhagavad-Gita. So in general we understand that it's but natural that if one is not following the injunction of scriptures, he is a demon. That's the main classification of a demon and a divine personality, that demigod is following the injunctions of the scriptures, and the demons are not following, right? So, not following the injunctions. So if we make a list, if I make a list for myself, I have a lot of points to qualify myself as a demon. So it's very important to work on those aspects, that how a person can gradually come to this point of giving away these tendencies to behave like a demon in his life. It's very difficult and painful, though. This assignment you've done, I'm sure, like in the previous class, again, I was hearing the ending part of the class, and he said that we don't have to look for bad in others. That's a very nice point. We don't have to analyze who else is demon around us. Better I should analyze what is my demoniac qualities. That will help me to improve. But analyzing others will make me a bigger demon rather. I'm only becoming a bigger demon, right? So another point we understand in this purport is about mercy of the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada brings this point that if the demons are so much punished or condemned, then how your Lord is merciful? No? How can you understand that Krishna is merciful? And then he brings to this point that Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, they were all also demons, but Krishna showed their mercy. And even if somebody is killed by Krishna, that is his mercy. So how to understand it in our context, because now we are in Kali Yuga and killing us means the game is over. So what has to be killed now? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did Papi Chapi Chata Chilo, Hari Name Uddharilo Tar Sakshi, Jagai Madhai. So they were kind of personification of all kind of sinful activities, Jagai and Madhai. And by the distribution of love of God in the form of the holy name, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered the most fallen Jagai and Madhai, and they became a wonderful Vaishnavas. So the process in this age is not killing, but the process in this age is to correct or kill the demoniac propensities. So we're reading Brahma's prayers since last few days, yesterday and today. So in that, I thought one point is connected, very much connected to what we are discussing in this purport. This is 10.14.9 from Bhagavatam. I think probably this is the last verse which Prabhupada translated, or maybe 10th one. And after that, his followers started compiling the purports of Bhagavatam because Srila Prabhupada was no more in this mortal world. The translation says, "My Lord, just see my uncivilized impudence." This Brahma is speaking this. "To test your power, I tried to extend my illusory potency to cover you, the unlimited and primeval super soul, who bewilder even the master of illusion. What am I compared to you? I am just like a small spark in the presence of a great fire." This is Brahma's realization. He is the creator of this creation, the secondary creator, as we say. The primary creator is Krishna. He is telling that, who am I? I am just a spark compared to you, Krishna. And what I was trying to bewilder you, he was trying to bewilder Krishna. He stole away all the calves, all the cows, all the boys, and then he just put them back and came back, and he said, the whole show is running as it is. So Brahma was bewildered. This was admitting now, what was I trying to do? The illusory potency is illusioned by you. This is what is speaking here now. So a great fire produces many sparks which are insignificant in comparison to it. Indeed, if one of the small sparks were to try to burn the original fire, the attempt would be simply ludicrous. Similarly, even the creator of the entire universe, Lord Brahma, is an insignificant spark of the potency of God, and therefore Brahma's attempt to bewilder Supreme Lord was certainly ludicrous. Brahma here addresses Lord Krishna as Isha, which indicates that Krishna is not only the supreme master of everyone, but is also specifically the master of Brahma, who creates the universe directly under the guidance of Lord, and who indeed is born directly from Lord's own body. Brahma felt ashamed of his impudent attempt at deluding Lord Krishna, and he was therefore perfectly willing to be punished or forgiven by the Lord according to his decision. If Lord Krishna does not mercifully punish his devotees when they act improperly, their foolishness will simply increase and gradually completely overwhelm their devotional sentiments. Therefore, Lord Krishna kindly disciplines his devotees and maintains them on the progressive path back home, back to Godhead. So, certainly what we are reading today from Bhagavad-Gita is on the front of demons, and what we are reading in this purport, Prabhupada is writing about devotees. That the principle is that Krishna deals with devotee or demon. He is trying to help every living being, and his purpose is very clear, to bring us out of our propensity to enjoy independent of Krishna. So this demonic civilization what we are in today is fully on a propaganda to defeat the existence of Krishna. That's the whole purpose of the current civilization. Every effort, every action is just to defeat the existence of Krishna. They don't want to accept Ichha Dvesha. So the envy of Krishna is the root cause of all these actions, because I am not convinced that Krishna is only enjoyer. I am still having that desire to enjoy independent of Krishna, and that's where my demoniac propensities comes out. That's where this desire to enjoy the senses makes me act like a demon. It's very subtle. We should not shy away from this point that yes, I am acting like a demon, So it's a reality. Otherwise, what is the cause of struggle? Why are we in anxiety? Why are we having fear? If somebody is following the scriptural path, he should have no fear. He should have no anxiety. There is no reason to be having fear and anxiety. The only reason is because I am still hooked on to my senses. I am still hooked on to enjoy my senses independent of Krishna. I still feel that Krishna is not that personality who is cause of all causes. I am still not convinced with that. Otherwise, it would be but obvious to surrender, like Arjuna accepted Param Brahma, Param Dhamam. He immediately, as soon as he heard, he said, yes, Krishna, I accept you as a Supreme Personality. I have no doubt now. And Prabhupada writes that, like Arjuna accepted by hearing Bhagavad-Gita, we should also accept Krishna as a Supreme Personality. And I'm sure we are hearing it time and again, Bhagavad-Gita, but this surrender is not coming. This commitment not to further waste time to enjoy the senses is not coming, because that conditioning is so deep rooted that somehow the mind convinces us that maybe this time I should do it. This time I can go off track, no problem. But we have heard this many times also, that even one desire will be the cause of us taking another birth. Even one desire we have, which is not in line with pleasing Krishna or serving Krishna, is enough and more to ensure that we get another body in this material world. It's that grave, this propensity to enjoy independent of Krishna. So here, Brahma is very humbly admitting, basically we understand all these are associates of Krishna, and then do wonderful pastimes as Krishna wants them to do. So Brahma also enacted this role of stealing these calves and cows and the cowherd boys, and seemingly all appear to be bewildered. But the reality is that this is all for us to understand that how we should focus our own consciousness, our own actions, so that we don't fall into this trap where we have to take another birth. It's an emergency situation for every devotee who understands Krishna consciousness, who is on the path of Krishna consciousness, that this should be my last life. I should finish all things, to achieve Krishna. Everything, just leave all the bags behind now. We don't want to carry the bags further to have another birth, because it's already a painful process to be in this material world. It's sooner we understand this point, it's better for us that it's enough. We have understood that we have taken many lives, so many times, birth after birth. We have many parents, many families, many relatives, all kind of different facilities have been provided, but still we are struggling in this material world. We don't enjoy, we don't get that peace of mind. So the The degradation here mentioned is in the life of dogs and hogs. 2 times it is written in this purport. They go down and down so that at last they achieve bodies like those of cats, dogs, and hogs, and then again it's there. So we see in the Western countries now, and also in India, it has started since many years. At least I am seeing for 20 years that this dogs and cats business has increased. People are getting more attached to dogs and cats. This shows that how fallen people are becoming already. Because from the example of Jad Bharat, we can understand that if we think of someone at the time of death, he was thinking about the deer, right? And he got the body of a deer. So if the people are busy serving dogs and cats, that means they become so low in consciousness. Like if I'm associating with a low consciousness species, I become like them. It's very obvious. So the power of association is so important that when we associate with devotees, we start thinking like a devotee, start behaving like a devotee. So to cut off this materialistic association is very, very important also to come out of these demoniac propensities. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, a supreme personality of Godhead, was not ready to meet Pratap Rudra. Just for one reason, because he was very materially opulent man. He was a devotee, Vaishnava. But just to present an example that stay away from materialistic minded people, stay away from people who have a lot of opulences and richness and wealth. So these are very important points to meditate on, that nothing on this material platform should be attractive to a person who is walking on the path of Krishna consciousness. He should be just viewing it as Krishna's energy, that's fine, but it should not be attractive to us in the sense that we want to acquire it. Our acquisition should be association of devotees who helps us to understand more about Krishna. And I like this point very much about what kind of devotee we should associate with. And Kapil Muni explains to Mother Devahuti that a sadhu is a person who speaks about Krishna 24 hours a day. He has no other business but to glorify Krishna, speak about Krishna. He doesn't want to do anything else. Such association we want. This is the kind of association we want. We cannot be lax at any point in time because Maya can just creep in. Like in construction, we are doing a big construction here in Krishna Balram Mandir. A little error, a little crack somewhere can allow the water to seep in the building, and then how much expense you might do, but that to fill up that crack is somehow next to impossible. So this association of materialistic people is that bad that once it creeps in like a Jamila, he just somehow saw something which was mundane, and that stayed in his consciousness for a while, and that was the cause of his fall down. So it's very, very, very important, and a lot of serious attention is required to this point, that we cannot be relaxing in any situation. And another aspect here is that Krishna is quite personal in his dealing. He is not caring about that, oh, if I will punish him, he will criticize me. He will speak bad about me then, So he's not trying to be a populist. Populist is a word, right? That everybody should praise me. Krishna is not interested in that. Because if we praise him, we benefit, not Krishna benefits. So he is just doing just thing, what is required to be done. So if somebody is required to be punished, he punishes the person. He doesn't say, oh no, let it be this time, Like the mothers can understand it. Mothers know how to treat the child. She loves the child the most in the family, but she is the only one who slaps the child most, right? The father will come because he doesn't do anything much for the child. He always pampers the child. No, don't beat him. Let him do whatever he has to do. But the mother knows, no, he needs that beating. So Krishna is like that. He knows that he needs, and that's the real personal aspect of relationship between the mother and the son, or mother and the child. So Krishna is quite personal in that dealing. We can understand this and appreciate this point, that Krishna is personal. God. He is not impersonal. He is not worried about how he will be analyzed in this situation. So, Ravana has to be smashed off, he smashed him off. Hiranyakashipu has to be killed, he killed him, finished, no problem. Even though he was father of his most dear devotee Prahlad, doesn't matter for him. Because by doing that, he delivered Hiranyakashipu. By killing Hiranyakashipu, he got delivered. So it's very important also for us to be dealing accordingly. It's very difficult, at least for me, it's very difficult. I'm seeing that even to accept it and to acting like that, both ways difficult. To correcting somebody is really, really difficult. But here we understand that Krishna doesn't shy away from that correction part because he has that genuine love for all the living beings. We have that superficial relationship where we are trying to just look good and be good. But it's neither helping the other person and neither helping us. Because we have to keep, if say for example, I am not behaving in a Krishna conscious way, and if Prabhu is tolerating me, he has to keep tolerating me, my nonsense. And that is risk to his consciousness also, in that sense that if I keep speaking something which is not conducive to Krishna consciousness, he has to hear it every time. And then he is losing, and then I am losing too because I am all the time speaking about things which are not Krishna conscious. So why can't he stop me? Prabhu, I seriously care about you and I seriously want to be protective for you and me both. So let's talk about Krishna. What's the problem? I'm ready to hear you whole day, whole night, 24 hours, 365 days throughout the life. But if you talk about Krishna, it makes sense to me. Otherwise, what is the point? I'm already a demon and you're making me a bigger demon. As simple as that. So we have to be very conscious. That's called a personal dealing. Otherwise, he's dealing impersonally to me. It can become impersonal, that just to pamper it. So it's very difficult to do this. So, but it's important to do as we understand from Krishna, but not that everybody has that authority. So Krishna has an authority, spiritual master has an authority, mother certainly has that authority, and in case of family, the husband has that authority. That is questionable though, but in general, as per the scriptures, we can say like that. As per the scriptures, yes. So, yeah. And we have one more purport to read. That is 10.10.7. This is about Narada Muni. This is how Nalakuvar and Manigriva were cursed also. So Narada is very personal, right? Even though they were son of whom? The treasurer, Kubera. And Narada, who cares, Like Rahugana and Jad Bharata, right? Jad Bharata was heavy in his explanation to Rahugana. Who cares? You have to speak the philosophy. And he told him, you're a fool. Even though he was a king, he was very clear in speaking, you are a fool. And he was very careful to protect the ants on the floor. So, careful about the smallest of the ant, because that is the duty of a sadhu. He sees everybody equally, Pandita Samadarshina. And when it came to the king, so Samadarshina means on the platform of a soul. So he behaved with the king in the fashion that he gave him the instruction of the science of soul. Explained him that you are on a wrong path, Prabhu. If you keep behaving like this, you will end up your life, the most valuable human life. But simultaneously, he had that heart to be compassionate to the ant even. He couldn't step over an ant. That was the cause of disturbance to the king. So this is a nice purport also, 10.10.7. Seeing the two sons of demigod naked and intoxicated by opulence and false prestige, Devarshi Narada, in order to show them special mercy, desired to give them a special curse. See, special curse. Curse, but a special curse. Thus he spoke as follows. Although in the beginning, Narada Muni appeared very angry and cursed them At the end, the two demigods, Nalkuvara and Manigriva, were able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, face to face. So this is the point. This curses or angerness coming from Krishna and devotees brings us face to face with Krishna. This is why they get angry on us. So this quality of angry cannot be subdued unnecessarily. Where you have to show anger, you have to show anger. You cannot say, no, it's not possible. It is important sometimes. Thus the curse was ultimately auspicious and brilliant. One has to judge what kind of curse Narada placed upon them. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives herein a good example. When a father finds his child deeply asleep, but the child has to take some medicine to cure some disease, the father pinches the child so that the child will get up and take the medicine. This is a crime these days, right? If you beat your child, it's a crime now. You cannot do that. But in a similar way, Narada Muni cursed Nalakubara and Manigriva in order to cure their disease of material blindness. So this is the main point, that anything which helps one to get out of his material blindness, which helps one to give up the material propensity to enjoy, that's a help. That's the most needed help each one of us needs now. That somebody wakes me up and helps me to get out of my peaceful sleep in the lap of Maya. Yes, I am enjoying my senses. I am trying to be satisfying my greedy desires. So somebody has to help me. I am drowning, sinking, every birth by birth sinking further down. So the only shelter is the holy name. The only shelter is Srila Prabhupada books. Only shelter is the association of devotees. We are already sheltered in the holy dham now. So we should take utmost advantage of these facilities and try to see that how Krishna is helping us to come out of this demoniac mentality of enjoying, which will ruin our lives, which is so invaluable. This life is so invaluable after so much of pious activities from our previous life. Somehow we have ended up in a human body, and that too connected to Srila Prabhupada's wonderful movement, ISKCON, which is spreading the glories of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu throughout the world through the Sankirtan movement. And it is reaching out more and more, far and wide. We can say it has reached out to towns, and now it has to reach out to villages also, because Mahaprabhu wanted to all towns and villages. And we can see that these villages will play more role because the city life is becoming exceedingly demoniac, mostly in the mode of ignorance and passion. And we see devotees struggling because of these modes around us. To stay in goodness is really a task for us also. So we need a lifestyle which is in the mode of goodness. And there, wherein the role of village preaching will come in, where more farm projects have to be set up, where more cow protection has to be propagated, and a more Krishna conscious lifestyle has to be presented for us devotees. Because living in the city, all we do is fighting, Mostly we are in ignorance and passion, a lot of struggles, fighting with our mind, fighting with the fellow devotees, fighting with different kind of authorities, because that clarity is not there in the life. We think that we are right, but the biggest mistake we are doing is to live in this hellish condition of city lifestyle. So it's very important to get out of it, because staying in ignorance and passion, it's very difficult to be situated in goodness. It's very difficult to stay away from this mundane association, which is very important for us to give up. So we should encourage one and all to get out of this city lifestyle and move to a simple village life where we can have some land, some cows, and practice Krishna consciousness. As Prabhupada said, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So it's very easy lifestyle, but we are unnecessarily trying to struggle, and then we are opening our doors to go down ourselves to lower species like cats and dogs and hogs, because this lifestyle in the city inspires us to do wrong acts. Because Ajamil accidentally see one bad association in the forest, but here we cannot avoid it. The lifestyle we have chosen, we cannot avoid association of that mundane scenes, through phones and through televisions, through billboards, through talks, through the behavior of the people. It's difficult to get out of it. It's a big gambling we are doing actually, not taking this decision to move to the land and not serving the cows. A big gambling actually. We are just unnecessarily increasing the struggles in our life, where a simple opportunity is available to follow Krishna's lifestyle and exemplify a nice program of presenting Krishna consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada also said that what we are doing now is small scale preaching. Farm projects will be large scale preaching. So it's very important to present this lifestyle somehow, because our community has a very little understanding of farm projects. They have practically no experience of serving cows. So we all follow what a normal person is following, which is not as per Bhagavatam. Krishna was always grazing the cows, Krishna was always moving the cows, but then what we see is the cows are always confined. Krishna was never confining the cows. Even the calves, small calves who was less than 1 year were taken for grazing by Krishna. We can find in Krishna book, there are so many examples of that. So the Krishna consciousness, the aspect of cow protection has to be understood in depth, because this is what Srila Prabhupada wanted, that for any civilization to be happy, we need to keep the bulls and cows happy. So what will keep the bulls and cows happy is not that they are eating grass only, or they are giving milk only. How it will make them happy? Any soul to become happy has to perform its function assigned to that species by Krishna. So when we perform our function assigned to us by Krishna, then we become happy, right? Not by earning money, not by becoming looking beautiful, not by having big houses. That doesn't make us happy. We become happy when we perform our function assigned to us. Divira Swarupa hai Krishna Nitya Das. So when we accept that I am servant of Krishna, then I can become happy. When I start acting like that. Similarly, in the nature system, every species has been assigned a function by Krishna, and all the species are working cooperatively to serve that Supreme Master, like the hands and legs serve to take care of the body. So all the species together work to take care of Krishna's function, to manifest and maintain this creation. So any disturbance to any of the species will disrupt the whole system. So it's a whole new subject to explore, but the most important part, and Srila Prabhupada wanted that to be explored by his followers. So to come out of this demoniac lifestyle, it's very, very important to demonstrate a Krishna conscious lifestyle. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any comments, questions? Mm-hmm.
You were speaking about surrender, that it is not coming because of conditioning. So any practical tips how to increase surrender? Because I feel what I have realized from my behavior, that when everything is going okay, basically when there is gaps between material distress, at that time I feel that surrender is full, I have faith in Krishna, but during problems, during difficulties, there is no surrender, there is no faith, and it goes down. So how to increase faith?
This is exactly what Srila Prabhupada writes in Bhagavatam also in first canto, that if everything is going good, we think that it is God sent. So no problem. But when the stress comes and we think, why Krishna is doing this to this devotee, right? This is your question. Then it's difficult to think that Krishna's presence in our life. So it will come by practice, as we understand. This is what Krishna says to Arjuna also. So we have to keep practicing this process of surrenderance. And as I understand, by more hearing and chanting, surrender will come very fast. Because this was a process. Parikshit was hearing, Arjuna was hearing. So it's very important to hear Krishna's instruction, and then next is to follow Krishna's instruction. The first step is to hear about what Krishna wants us to do. Because most of the time when challenges come, what we should do is pray to Krishna. This is what we hear in Bhagavatam. They were throwing Prahlad Maharaj from the hill. What was he doing? Praying to Krishna, right? So all these devotees, Uttara, when that, what was that? Brahmastra was released, then the Pandavas didn't have a Nishta Goshti how to kill Ashwadhama. They had Nishta Goshti to glorify Krishna. They were praying Krishna at that time. So ideally, when any problem is coming in our life, we should gather devotees and do kirtan and read Bhagavad-Gita and Bhagavatam. That's the way to do it. And then we will understand that this is Krishna's arrangement for me to progress in Krishna consciousness, because Krishna is doing good for all in every situation. There is nothing happening in our life which is taking us away from Krishna. Only if I decide to go away from Krishna. So when problem comes, then I make an arrangement. Prabhu's, Mataji's, please come. I have a feast today and I want to do kirtan with all of you, and that's it. Hare Krishna. That's the practical tip to do it. Whenever you have problem, call devotees, make prasadam for them, feed them, do kirtan and katha. There is no other solution. Otherwise, it's just a mind telling us that there is a problem. Actually, there is no problem. Only the mind is convinced that it's a problem. There is no problem. If Parikshit getting killed is a problem, if he's getting cursed after 7 days death is a problem, is that a problem? That's not a problem. That means we have never encountered any such problem in our life till date. If Arjuna being requested to fight with his relative is a problem, then we have never encountered such a problem in our life, right? So that means there is nothing called problem, it's just a mindset. So that's the bodily conception of life. So all these misconceptions about problem has to be given up, and the real conception is that everything is a blessing, special, what was the word? Special curse. Everything is a special curse. If not blessing, we can use everything as special curse by Krishna and his devotees in our life. So that will inspire us to call for more such things and keep inviting devotees for prasadam and keep doing kirtan and chanting. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare